Okay, now that we have the um, or intersection outputs, we can um, open the attribute table. Here is the attribute table, and you can see that we have multiple records for every parcel ID. And the idea was, how can we put together these the area of tree canopy for every parcel? And we learned that uh, multiple pieces of canopy might have overlap with a parcel. A tool that will help you with that, it is statistics by category. If I remember, statistics by category. This tool, first let's make sure that we don't have any select features from all layers, and we are going to say input vector layer is the intersection layer, and we are going to say field that filled with categories will be the parcel ID, because that's the field that defines the categories. For example, number one is one category, parcel number two is one category. Although those are still numbers, the parcel ID defines a categorical variable here for us. It is categorizes different parcels. And then after that, we want to say field that we want to get a summary, and said we updated area square meter, and we are getting a summary of that. And then the other thing is, where are we putting that summary? um, and I'm going to still keep this in the memory. I'm not saving this, but um, if you are doing your work in multiple steps, make sure that you save this to a file and come back to it again later. I'm going to run this, uh, and it is completed, and I'm going to open the attribute table, which is the table itself of this layer. I have parcel ID, that's the ID that we are tracking or parcels. And then for every parcel ID, we have a count, which tells us how many pieces of tree canopy we have. Those are different discrete tree canopy pieces. And then we also have the minimum areas of those pieces and maximum area of those, and as well as sum and average of those, and some other um, statistics here. So if you pay attention, these are parcels, and I have a field that matches the parcel um, ID. So if I open the attribute table and go to the end of that table, you're going to see that we have a parcel ID that we created ourselves. So we have that, and we can match these numbers. And we learned that for that you can use join. I'm going to the properties of the parcels layer, because the parcels layer will be the host layer, the layer that will receive the statistics values. But before that, I'm going to open the attribute table of the parcels and create a field naming that field. Well, we can do that later. Let's just do that later. Um, Summarize. I'm going to the parcels, join, and then adding a new join. I'm going to say we are joining the statistics by categories. Our joined field will be parcel ID, and our target field in the host layer is the parcel ID. So these are for guest layer, and this is the target ID in the host layer. Um, we are that's going to be temporary, so leave everything as default. Okay, and now I'm going to open the attribute after closing this one, the attribute table of my parcels again. good. And so we can see that those statistics are all joined, and we know that they are temporary attachments. They are not permanent attachment. To make them permanent, I don't need all of those columns. I only need one column, and that's the sum. So I'm going to create a new column, and I'm going to name this new column PCT, which is percentage of a tree canopy. And this is going to be a whole number because it has decimals. And here we need to do a calculation. For that calculation, I'm going to say use my values from um, the statistics by category output, and I'm going to use the sum. So the sum, get the sum of the tree canopy area for every parcel. Multiply that by 100 because we are getting a percentage, and then divide that by the parcel area. We don't have a parcel area here. I could technically create a field in my parcel layer and calculate parcel area in that, and I could use this in calculation. But imagine that I didn't do that. But the nice thing about Q is that Q is flexible with that. So I'm going to geometry saying that um, we said at $ area is the parcel area. So cal do this calculation at once. Um, and I'm going to say that's 100. So multiply by 100, divide by parcel ID. So this should be a number between 0 and 100. And I'm going to calculate everything. After that, we are really done with our join. So I'm going to the properties and even just remove that join. I don't want it. Okay. And and also I'm going to toggle this off from editing, and then open attribute tables, and here's my percentage, with one caveat that I forgot to create I think a whole, yes, with a whole number, or I created an integer um, value. So I'm going to delete this because I don't like it. I'm going to delete that. I think these things happen. Um, so it toggle on, delete, delete this one, join, properties, join. One of the benefits of saving these things in your machine is that if you make one of these mistakes, you can always go back to it and fix those. I'm going to open the attribute table of this, and I'm going to open the calculator, PCT TC, whole a decimal number. Here it is. Made a mistake. So sum, multiply that by 100, divide that by parcel ID from geometry, at sign area. There it is. Yep. And now you can use this information. Let's toggle off this for symbology, graduated, and to percentage of tree canopy, classified. Here it is. Your parcels are color coded based on the amount of tree cover that they have. Imagine that, for example, if you wanted to calculate how trees are affecting the value of house different properties, this would be one of important layers. Good luck with that.